Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett, and today we are going to be doing another video on crypto, specifically passive income methods, and this is part 2. First video I got into how most of the world they call something passive and it really isn't, and I got into liquidity pool tokens and other things like that with decentralized exchanges and some decentralized finance systems. But in this one, I want to get into something that's more common with yield farming, and that is staking. So, real quick, for those of you who do not know what yield farming is, it is just a mixture between staking and a few other things. Now, for staking, there are two main types of staking out there. The proof of stake is a major one, and then the other is a simple blending out or locking up a given thing to provide market stability. So as far as that goes, in note, I'll leave links down below to some of the stuff to help you out. You don't need to know all the ins and outs for that for passive income. You can if you want to, like you can learn what proof of stake is and all the other stuff around that, but the fact is you don't need to know these type of things off the top of your head, or really at all. You just need to know how to get from point A to point B type of situation. So first things first that you do need to know is hard staking versus soft staking. Hard staking is basically where you have to lock in your tokens and stuff for a given amount of time. Soft staking is where you can move it in and out anytime you want. So most of your stuff that you're going to be dealing with is probably going to be hard staking. If not, you might deal with one or two soft staking. But when you get into centralized exchange staking, that's almost always soft staking, unless it says otherwise. Now, as far as staking, you might need to jump through some certain hoops. For example, voting once a quarter, or like on policies or whatever that's brought up for your coin, or doing some certain thing. Now, let's get into the argument of centralized versus decentralized. Should you stake something on your hardware wallet, or should you just keep it on an exchange and stake it? Keep in mind, for this video with passive income, we're after maximum yields, and that way you can have maximum passive income coming in. But you might have legitimate reasons not to, make that your first priority. Could be a simple fact that centralized exchanges, they can lock your account anytime, or maybe decentralized, maybe you had some bad experience there or whatever it may be. So as far as that goes, I wanted to get into this particular coin, which is Solana, and with a decentralized method, I'm looking at about 5.12%, whereas if I go and try to find it on here, you're looking at between 5 and 18%. Chances are it's probably going to be about 5%, but still, between 5 and 18%. I don't think, and then for here we got 6.2%. So with that, if we're going for maximum yields and not really worrying much about a centralized exchange going down or locking your coins or whatever it may be, like maybe you have ultimate trust in them, fine, if that's the case, fine. Well, the fact is that does bring up a few things, like you can actually leave your coins with a given exchange and get better yields at with some coins and at some points of the year. So just note that, like for example, even between exchanges, it's not all the same. So for example, with DOTS, it's 12% here, and right here it says between 9 and 12%. You're never going to get the highest on something like that. It's just a roundabout range. So just note that certain exchanges will pay out more, but sometimes exchanges will pay out more than a normal on hardware decentralized route. just is what it is. The math simply doesn't lie. And that's just something that you just got to look at when you get into it. Now, it could also, again, be the reverse of that. You might find on your keeping it on your wallets and stuff might pay more money. So another example, just to drive the point home, is if we take a look at here, we can stake Ethereum, and it's looking at about 3.8%. Whereas, I don't know if you can stake Ethereum here, but if we go back to here, you're looking at about 4 to 7%. So, fairly close, but, you can potentially make more money staking through something like Kraken versus your own hardware wallets, at least with that method. Now, what's the risk? It's fairly simple. Again, a exchange can lock your accounts and you lose access. Exchange can get hacked, but a lot of them will try to help you out on that if they do get hacked, and that's becoming more and more rare. Then you need to note with the fees. So I'm going to be using this as an example again with Solana. There's certain coins you can get things like a commission fee or staking fee or whatever they want to call it, and more than less, this is basically from your total reward. This is how much they're going to take out. So for example, with this first one, if you got like 100 coins, they're going to take out 7 of those coins to pay the fee. And note, a lot of times when you look at these fees, it is made by the actual the group that actually is doing the stuff. So that they can go for 0% fee or a different number depending on the coin and whatnot. I don't see it up on any of these exchanges. It just got up real quick, but it used to be popular with VeChain. That you can stake it and you would actually get back in VeThor, and you can sell the rewards, and they'll have different prices and all that stuff. So note that not always when you stake something you'll get back the 1-to-1. It could be a different coin altogether, like, for example, like that. And the reason why they do that is for that particular one is a soft staking. Just by owning it, you start collecting in it. But if they give a different coin, then in theory it shouldn't mess with the original coin, because it's not really adding up on that network. Now, real quick, let's get into NFT staking, and just try and figure out what that was about. And basically, NFT staking, you can lock up a given NFT, which will prevent you from selling it, which is, again, one method for staking is basically certain places may use this to stabilize the prices. So everybody that holds it, you don't have to worry about everything dumping all at once type of situation. And it's just good in that aspect. Note, NFT staking tends to use some of that type of stuff. Sometimes it's just like soft staking where just by holding it, it's good enough. But a major thing to note is the rewards. Sometimes it is within other NFTs. Other times it could be by coins. And some of these cases it could be obscure coins that you would legitimately have no way of getting rid of, even if you were interested to start with. So just note that. And note that this is relatively new. And we're seeing it more and more with play-to-win scenarios, where companies that make mobile-like games, they're basically making it where you can earn NFTs just by playing the game, and they're doing stuff like that. So as far as that goes, one of the things I wanted to get into, because this is passive income, is lending. I didn't really cover this that well in my last video and also the last post and whatnot, because we were short on time. But on some lending programs like this, you don't need to pair it up with other coins, and it could have a decent APY. For example, on this particular platform, you can get that and get a APY of whatever. And you can look through this or look through other things, and some of these cases you do not have to actually provide two things to actually get a an actual reward. In some cases you can just provide the one thing and that's good enough, and you can go from there. And I like doing liquidity pool tokens and stuff like that. This tends to be a lot safer and easier to get in and out of. Just note these numbers can change based on supply and demand, and you really are doing liquidity instead of a raw staking like I showed in the last video. Anyways, hope that this helped out, and leave a like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you next video. And let me know if you find any other passive methods or I missed out on something.